Okay, so these kind of thrones are Archon thrones. So we don't use these kind of thrones unless we have an Archon. You know, remember that illustration I drew of Eon, Archon, Eon, Archon, Eon, Archon, etc. It's only in the Archons that we use these thrones. During the Eons, we don't use these thrones because we haven't. We're being good. We haven't decided to crack government and try to develop a tyranny with slavery, that sort of thing. Okay? All right, so I realize I have a turkey sitting on my head who wants me to sound bossy. Okay? You know, but there it is. I gotta get rid of that turkey sitting on my head trying to make me sound differently. Okay, so, you know, there are many of these. We could just sit here all day and draw many of them. And, you know, let's look at this one here. And have you seen the movie Krull? Krull? In it, there's a giant spider scene. And so we're going to draw a spider web here. This guy goes into a cave. He has to save a princess or something, and he has to go into the cave, and there's a spider kind of sitting vigilantly. And then, here's a spider. We'll draw 8 legs or 3 legs or spider. Giant spider. Movie Krull. This movie came out many years ago. And it's a good movie. I really like it. There's this giant monster, and he's, kind of threatening things. And this guy has to save a princess, and they meets up with a buddy, and then they have to go on a quest. And part of their quest, they have to go to the widow of the web. See, in the middle here is a little home where a woman sits, and she's called the widow of the web. Now, when we consider this, let's also consider the window of the web. Okay, so this has to do with a lure. A lure. It's like a demonic lure. It's just a natural lure, a part of the games that we're playing. Okay, bad games. It's a lure. Here's a woman sitting in a home right in here. Here's a pod, and the spider can't get her as long as she stays in there, right? And she's like this oracle or whatever. She has this knowledge and information, and this guy has to go in there, But anyways, so watch the movie. It's very symbolic. And, excuse me. So this is kind of a lure. And then let's go over here and let's look at this one. And here we're going to draw the Swamps of Sadness. Here's Morla, the big turtle, who, is in the Swamps of Sadness. Swamp. We'll just draw a swamp all around him. Swamp of Sadness. Okay, and here's Morla. I don't know if I can't remember the spider's name. See, the woman is different than the spider. The spider is the big monster spider that could poison you and paralyze you, wrap you up, and save you for dinner later. And here's Morla. He sits in the Swamps of Sadness, kind of similar to this woman here. Something about him isn't so bad, but it's not really the villain. And Atreyu has to go talk with Morla, and then people sink in the Swamps of Sadness. Okay? So these stories that have these different lures, have to do with these categories. Spiders have to do with spite. Spiders have to do with spite. And that's a vice. It's a vice. Spite is a vice. Spite. And the spiders also have to do with spying. Spying. Okay? So over here, Morla is a turtle. Morla means more law. There's some sort of scandal we could make with how laws should be. We notice what? I've already mentioned Bill Cosby and how he kind of got himself arrested and put in jail. He's sitting with more law, you see. More law. He's more law. He's kind of trying to do something that way, okay? Okay, so and another one here we could look at is in the Labrynth, the movie called The Labyrinth. There's the Swamp of Eternal Stench. Okay, and then I'm going to draw kind of a crappy, muddy river, you know, and here are these little sphincters that come up and blow air. It's like a fart, you know, these little assholes come to the surface and go, and they fart. It's called the Swamp of Eternal Stench. Swamp of Eternal Stench. And here's a bridge, and you know the character has to go on a quest, you know, and there's a sitter there. It's a fox. A fox is riding on a dog, you know, there's a fox and the dog. Okay, and he doesn't let people cross the bridge unless they answer his riddle or whatever. Okay. So our stories really have these lures. When we have Archons, we like to play games, and we end up with these lures. You know, here's the cave with the spider and the window of the web, and you have to go there because there's a window of opportunity. See, when bad people are being bad, they spitefully move against each other and burn each other and take each other's opportunity, and we end up with windows of opportunity because they turn against each other, and so there's a window of the web. Okay, and so there's a secret here also, and a secret here also. Okay? So our stories are full of such lures that really are happening. I mean, Bill Cosby really is sitting with more law playing a game, okay? And so are other people, okay? We are really doing this. We're really doing this. We're really doing this. We're really doing this. And we're really doing all sorts of things symbolized in stories. Okay, on to my next video.